Update 14, Abhiram Chaganti. It is currently 3:05 p.m. on April 6th, and I'm in the kitchen of my dorm building. I am slightly sick. I have some cold or some shit. But this week has been pretty eventful on a good note. Sometimes I come on these videos and I don't have much new to add because the last 7 days weren't too crazy. But this week, I finally released the hoodies I've been working on for like the past 10 months or so. And I really, when I say working on, it's not like I was like redoing it over and over again for the past 10 months. It's like just, promo, making sure it's under the right brand, under the right, like packaging, right? Packaging is very important. The way it's presented is very important. I think that was what I spent a lot of time on, and I'm really happy with, because the work I put into presenting it really showed. I'll give an example. The last time I released my own original designs was senior year of high school, and we sold a little over 100 hoodies, and I would say maybe 70 or 80% of those sales came in person. So we would pop up at like events. We would sell in malls, like pop-up shops and things like that. And also, like, of course, I was selling to kids in my school. And the point is like, it was very warm, right? Like when I'm selling to someone I already know, it's warm. Like they know me. They might have a reason to buy this other than loving the design, right? Consider that. Now with this one, I was on my own, as far as like, I'm in the real world now. I'm in college, and people won't buy into something unless they really care about it. And this drop, on drop day, there were over 120 people in the wait list for the hoodie, which is amazing, because so many of those people I had never met before, talked to, seen in real life, all that jazz, right? And yet they joined because they really liked how I presented it and the design itself. And that's why this thing for Building Worlds, like that's the brand name, right? Building Worlds. The mission statement is exactly the name of the brand, because consider, right, like clothing resonates with one type of person, but it's not like, clothing isn't a necessary condition to be creative. Having an affinity for clothes isn't a necessary condition, right? And this makes sense, right? Because you could have a director that dresses like he's homeless, but he really loves film. And so with Building Worlds, like that's the whole idea, is like taking different disciplines. Like right now it's just clothes, right? But growing this way past clothes, making it something where we're making films, we're making new music that we produce, and we're making a bunch of different things for a bunch of different disciplines to attract people creatively, like not saying too much, but saying a lot through what we're making. That is like my whole MO, my whole mission objective is to be there in different disciplines and do it really well, do it in a way where people care about it. Of course, my fulfillment from these activities is one thing, like my intrinsic personal fulfillment is, if we're to put that aside, like I really get a lot of joy from seeing people listen to my music, wear my hoodie, like just embracing my creation. Like there's no better feeling, seriously. And that's why I'm gonna continue to do it. There was a voice memo my mom sent me this morning. It was me on this like rant. It was back from high school, like my junior year of high school, I think. And it was me on this rant just talking about how I want to be great. I want to do my own thing. I have so many creative ideas. I just want to do them all. I don't want to be bound by anyone or anything. I don't want to go work a job. I really, and I feel like listening to that this morning after this weekend and having that drop, it was, I couldn't help but reflect. Like I couldn't help but think about wow, okay, that gives me perspective. Because on drop day, I'll tell you, my feelings were pretty mixed, okay? Because you know how I just told you guys there was like a bunch of people on this wait list. We had 20 sales on drop day. And I think my expectations were too high because I couldn't tell whether I should have been disappointed or happy or whatever, right? Because like I did put in all that work and everything, and there were so many people on that list, but the funnel just kind of like funnels down, right? You post on TikTok, a certain amount of people click the link in the caption. Then a certain amount of people actually sign up on that form in that. And as you go up more and more up the pyramid, it's a percentage of the last one. And so that's the funnel. So this funnel came through and I didn't know how to feel about it. But now that I've sat on it a little bit, I'm super happy, bro. Because the reality is that like people won't buy into something unless they resonate with it, unless they feel that their hard-earned money is like well spent. You know what I mean? And that's what makes me so proud and so happy for the things me and my team have been doing. Of course, it's just me designing the clothes and posting the content, but I have a group of guys that are so invested in just the overall mission objective. Building worlds to me, this is gonna sound pretty pretentious, but please don't take it that way. It's like building worlds to me isn't as much a brand, but it's more like a state of mind, like a mind state that me and my team are on. My boy Reef, he's my producer. He's been my producer for like a while now. He makes all my beats. Like him and my boy Neil, amazingly talented at film and has so many great ideas. Like Pratik, like shoots a bunch of my stuff. Like, you know, like these guys, like these three names, like, and Min, like the guy that's like, you know, and there are some names like I'm forgetting, but like these guys, like they, like we believe in like just following through with our discipline that we feel intrinsic to us. Like Reef, he's not going to care as much about clothes, but you can be sure that he cares a lot about making the music as great as possible. And that's exactly what it's about, is like just, and thinking avant-garde about it too, creatively. That's another part of the whole mission objective, is like not making it like just any other thing. Building worlds as in, if we're in a central timeline, we make things representative of these branches in different timelines. And that's the design language for the clothes too. If you look at the Harvard Dropout hoodie, if you look at the No Smoking hoodie, if you look at other designs that I've been making, like specifically in this brand, that's the design language. It's taking something very familiar and making it feel like, okay, this is an alt timeline sort of concept. You know what I'm saying? On another note, I feel like I've been a little more reluctant to do these videos for some reason. Maybe today I'm a little bit under the weather, but I feel like the last couple weeks, like I used to record these the day before, and then I would always post them at noon on Sunday. But I'm getting to it later and later, and I don't want it to be a slippery slope thing where it's like the next week I don't do it at all. You know what I'm saying? So even like, you know, that rant I was referencing that my mom sent me, that's even giving me some reminder, I guess you could say, that like this is my life. Like, it's such a corny thing to say, but I really do think it's true that sometimes I do feel slightly misunderstood. Like, in the sense that these videos I'm making, right, people might be like, oh, like, do you like, why don't you post more often, like whatever, why aren't you putting more effort into like growing the channel, like getting your views up? Dude, this channel is supposed to be a time capsule. Like I'm very, like, I've made it very clear that like me as a person, like I think about the future a lot, and not in the way that like, oh, I want to be successful type of future. I mean, yes, that is a thing too, but I really try to get to to the point where it's like, I am in this present moment, I am finding ways to create the reality I see in the future. So for example, right, with these videos, I imagine that I have a kid that's 16 years old or so, and he has the capacity to be curious of what his dad went through when he was around. And I imagine that these videos will be there so he can see them. You know what I mean? That's how I think about things. And even me growing out my hair right now is because in the future, I want like a motorcycle or some shit, and I want to be able to like take off my helmet and fucking like sway my hair and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it may sound silly to some of you guys, but it's like, that's how granular and atomic I get with forging the reality I want for myself. Making every little thing, making every little change in my style and my aesthetic and like in me as a person to better fit what I see in the future. And the beautiful thing about it really is that it's molding in front of my eyes. Even the decisions I make that I don't intend to do, they are playing a role in how everything ends up turning out. I feel like the way I've thought about the future is has changed even in the past couple years. I've now gotten really comfortable with this analogy, this like calculus analogy, right? Like the area under a graph. I feel like the future really, once you understand that it's like, it's infinitely divided by all the present moments, right? Like this moment of me tapping on the thing, and then this moment of me tapping on it again, and then this moment of me pulling on my shirt. Like if you were to take every moment and just do it by moments, every moment added up together in its summation is the future. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of what, in the last video I was talking about thinking deductively, that's kind of what makes me go out and do the things I want to do and take action, because I know that it's constantly being added and added and added. Nothing is lost. You know what I mean? But yeah, just wrapping thoughts, like this week has been, it's been pretty cool, bro. I'm gonna keep on selling these hoodies as much as possible, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell out. Humbly, I can say I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell out. We don't have a lot left, so that's good news. And it's pressure. It's on to the next one right away. In my last clothing drop, the one I was talking about in high school, like I only did it one time, and that was that. Because for other reasons I don't want to really get into, but you know what I mean? This time around, it's different. I know my way in this space a little bit more, this digital sort of clothing design selling sort of thing. I think I'm getting familiar, and I think I'm getting some credibility in it. So yeah. And with that being said, guys, I think that's it for this video. I'll say this. I think the takeaway here, right, is like, be very deliberate about the moment you're sitting on, right? And understand that like it does have an influence onto the next day and the next day. Like you, people say like, you know, every day starts anew. And yes, that is true, that you could start tomorrow. Like if you had a bad day yesterday, you have a chance to start tomorrow and like get it going. But really, like what I'm saying, I think is slightly distinctive. I think what I'm saying is like, you doing like anything is playing a role in how something turns out. So by theorem, you shouldn't really care about anything other than the moment. I think that's a pretty redundant sort of theme, that stay in the moment, but that is what it is, right? I feel like this week I've been staying out of the moment a little bit more, and it's been hurting my peace of mind a little bit, thinking about like, you know, the next drop and the next drop and the next, and like, what am I gonna do? It's natural to like for my mind to like go elsewhere, but I really like where I'm at, and I'm really focused on like bringing the reality that I imagine for my life to life. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I got no more to add. And with that being said, Abhiram Chaganty out.